matter who you are. If it don't matter, oh matter. That can lie down. I am follow. That's for sure.
High Power 102.7 FM, the voice that echoes through every home, every heart, from the streets to
the time is 7 o'clock.
Every moment.
Good evening, here's iPower 102.7 FM News at 7. I am Inioluwa Adekoya. First, the headlines. Adekoya refutes banditry claims. Court orders INEC to list Ekiti PDP candidate. On the foreign scene, Ghana protest attack on troops. And in sports, Castina United player declared missing. Details of this and more in a moment. Please stay tuned. Glad to have you back. And now the news in detail, beginning from the home front. The Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has refuted claims in some sessions of the media that the state is battling insurgency, as it described the series of kidnapping events in the state as isolated incidents. While speaking in a media chat with newsmen yesterday, the governor showcased his scorecards and highlighted his vision for Ondo State. iPower FM Alaba Adeyemi will monitor the chart as the details.
Fún ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ lẹ́yìn ọdún méjì àti oṣù méjì tí gómìnà Lucky Aiyedatiwa gba ọ̀pá àṣẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. In 2 years and 2 months since he was first sworn in as the governor of Ondo State, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa had a comprehensive media chat with newsmen from across the country on Friday, 6th of March 2026, where he highlighted his achievements since getting into office. Aiyedatiwa pointed out that he has not abandoned any of the projects embarked upon by his predecessor, the late Inioluwa Adekoya-led administration.
Some of the projects he envisioned that he was unable to start, I started them. For example, the Judiciary Village that I've named after him on the day we laid the foundation. He envisioned it, he did the budget. I didn't change anything. He designed everything. He could not start, he could not lay the foundation. I started it from the scratch, and I'm not taking it and I named it after him. Towards the end of this year, that judiciary village will be completed, and it's named Inioluwa Adekoya Judiciary Complex. So, and that is one legacy, that is one thing that's so paramount to him, but it was it was a burden for him as a senior advocate to be able to build.
Let me say this, the last administration worked. I can never say they didn't work in terms of renovation of schools. Yes, resources available is what can be used to actually do some of this work. The resources are limited and they have alternative uses. That's basic economic definition that Adam Smith, relationship between the ends and Saxons, which has alternative uses. So the resources available at the time was what was used for all the projects. He constructed roads, he renovated schools as well, the counterpart funding for the SUBEB, which is the basic primary education. All that, were done. Unlike now that we're able to access more funds to do more. Yes, I would say that. So definitely, all the states in Nigeria, not only Ondo State, All of us, all the governors get more allocation, even though cost also has also gone up in terms of the real value of money, but that doesn't mean we are not getting more allocation. So it's just like saying there is no government that will come to power that will not construct roads. Every government constructs roads, and it's never enough. Everyone will be building roads. Either you renovate the old, rehabilitate the old ones that have gone bad, and you do new ones.
Although there have been 6 protests against insecurity in the state in about 6 weeks, the governor described the cases of kidnapping and killings in the state as isolated cases.
Some gunrunner went in there, or no gunmen, during a night vigil, took hostage of about 5 people, which have now been released. The security agencies have to move in and all that. So we have such isolated cases once in a while. Then kidnap for ransom. It's a bit rampant at the time, but we have dealt with that. That has reduced considerably, where some people within inside will just kidnap somebody and they will be calling for ransom. That's also, it's not like bandits per se. That doesn't mean that there are no bandits that are trying to make it into the state. We always resist them. We've arrested several of them, load of truck, and then we profile them, we ask them to go back. So all of these have been happening. But at the back of the forest, if they are there, well, let them remain there. But we will not allow them to come into our state to create problems for us. So that is there because they are moving from different locations, especially with the current posture of the leadership at the federal level, the president and the security agencies at the federal level with the
governor also highlighted his achievements in primary and tertiary education, while also spelling out his future plans for education in the state.
The Access Adding Fund for primary basic education that is being used to build schools, to renovate schools, and then to support primary school education. We have done that. We have, in fact, Ondo State is one of the best states in that category if you check the data state by state. Not only that, we recruited teachers into our primary and secondary school. Record has it that in the last 15 years before I came on board, the state has not recruited secondary school teachers. And I came on board and recruited about 2,150 teachers to cover the gap. About 1,050 for primary school, 1,100 for secondary school. Aside, we have also our technical schools. They renovated like never before. Enrollment has increased in technical education that before now has been very, very poor because we try to emphasize skill development, being trained in the area of skill acquisition. So our technical colleges are having a new leaf right now in terms of renovation, equipment, and teaching staffs, and the enrollment has increased. Now, going to tertiary institution, we have increased the subvention to our tertiary institutions so that they can pay their salaries and meet other overhead costs. We did when we came aboard twice now.
The governor specifically mentioned the challenges at the Rufus Giwa Polytechnics, Owo, where the staff recently protested that they are still being paid based on the over 10 years old 18,000 minimum wages. He pointed out that the school is overstaffed and he had been paying backlogs of salaries owed by the previous administration.
Now talking about Rufus Giwa Polytechnic that you mentioned, in terms of issue promises made and all of that, let me say that is a major problem, one of the major problems inherited by this administration. We believe that government is a continuum, yes. You don't push blames. Once you are decided, you have to fix the problem. And that is why we are elected. Leadership is about providing solution to problems. So there's major problems in postgraduate polytechnic, overstaff and all of that. But we inherited that, and as at the time I came on board, then as acting governor, they were owing about 11 months salary. And they have not had convocation in the last 12 years. Accreditation for courses were not done. So it was a major problem. You can verify all of this. As acting governor, then I paid the first 3 months, remaining 8 months. And as governor, I have paid another 5, remaining 3. And don't forget, spending has to be tied to budget. And when I give them money for the convocation so that those who have passed out can also have that feeling that, okay, they did the convocation, accreditation for their courses, I paid for. Then during the convocation, I promised them that the remaining 3 months would be paid. I did make that promise. So if out of 11, I have done 3, I will do the 3. But they are not patient enough.
When he was questioned about the crisis in the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the state, and the result of the state congress held recently, the governor said that the result of the congress is still being awaited from the national headquarters of the party. A public affairs analyst and the founder of Open Sunshine Initiative, Inioluwa Adekoya, while reacting and evaluating the totality of the media chat held by the governor, he described the media chat as disappointing, especially as the governor's response to the question of insecurity in the state watered down the real situation.
We already set up chats or media conversation to actually cover up for a lot of firing or those people that have been asking very serious questions about the governor and the government of the day. So, and I think it's also ill-advised, and it came at a very wrong time. And even if the charge was also an opportunity to douse tensions and actually improve rating, the governor actually failed at that. He didn't impress us, especially for me, someone that the last kidnapping attempt was just like 2 or 3 kilometers away from his house in Akure. So when the governor said most of the issues were isolated cases and they were not really about planetary authority, I was disappointed. So I actually expected the governor to talk more about the steps they are taking to curb insecurity, the rising insecurity in the state, especially in other parts of the state, and recently Akure North and our local governments. So it's unbelievable that the governor downplayed that serious issue that has made people sleep with one eye closed, and have made families to be more cautious, and they now have to come back home as early as 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. latest, and they not leave their houses until 7 a.m. in the morning. So even the people that are even being cautious in their homes, they get, these people still have access to our houses. So I think the governor didn't do well there, and it speaks of the kind of person he is, that is not serious about our welfare.
He also pointed out that the governor failed to thoroughly answer questions on money made and spent in the state.
If we also talk about the issue of tertiary institutions in the state, that has been an issue. If you watched very well, you see that he's not really interested in our welfare. He doesn't even know the figure is paying for subvention. The governor of Ondo State is embarrassing. He doesn't know the amount he nets. He doesn't know the amount he has increased it to, if really has increased it. So these are the issues. I watched yesterday and I asked myself, if Dr. Mimiko or an academic, you answer those questions like that. And it's also unfortunate that Olympic staff are still in this situation. They are still on the 10,000 minimum wage, and they have arrears, and the government is saying, well, I pay some and I'll pay the rest. It's not an issue. I'll pay it. You should be patient, and that's all. It doesn't know about subventions. It doesn't know about anything. It doesn't know or cannot recollect that he promised Commissioner of University of Science and Technology a open sum of 1.4 billion naira, if I can recall it now. 2 years ago at their convocation, and today that school has not received it. The School of Engineering is still using a makeshift primary school as their campus. So these are the issues we are facing in this state.
In Akure, Alaba, Adeyemi, reporting for High Power 102.7 FM, Emurele Owo.
Away from that story, a federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to return the name of Oluwole Oluyede to the list of candidates that will contest in the forthcoming gubernatorial election in Ekiti State. The electoral umpire had earlier left out the name of the candidate of the PDP due to the crisis rocking the party at the national level. While reacting to the decision of the court, in the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Inioluwa, stated that the coast is now clear for the party to take over power in Ekiti State. And now to Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has called on all stakeholders to sit and renegotiate the nature of Nigerians' federalism in line with the vision of the late Premier of the Western Region, Obafemi Awolowo. According to a statement signed by Special Advisor on Media Suleiman Olarinwaju, Makinde made the remarks during the remembrance ceremony held in honor of the late sage at his hometown, Ikenne, Ogun State, yesterday. He hailed Awolowo for his vision and capacity while blaming subsequent leaders for their complacency. This news at 7 is coming to you from iPower 102.7 FM in Emurele. Still to come on the foreign scene, Ghana protest attack on troops. And in sports, Katsina United player declared missing.
Whether you're tuning in for breaking news, in-depth analysis, or community updates, High Power 102.7 FM remains your most trusted source. Because when it comes to news, the truth matters. High Power FM 102.7.
Welcome back. To be part of our program, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at iPower1027FM. And now to the foreign scene. The Ghanaian authorities have officially written to the United Nations on the attack on its peacekeeping troops in Lebanon. In a statement released today, the Ghanaian Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it has written a protest letter addressed to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, describing the attack as an unprovoked asking the UN to protect its troops. Ghana is also seeking peace, a probe into the incident. Still talking foreign matters, a former rapper has defeated the Prime Minister of Nepal in the country's first parliamentary election after a Gen Z uprising in the country. 35-year-old Shan defeated the 74-year-old Shama Oli in their constituency election in what has been described as a landslide victory. Shan, who is already the mayor of the capital of the country, is now a potential Prime Minister of the country. And now to the sporting arena. Nigeria Premier Football League club side Katsina United has declared one of its players, Uche Collins, missing. The club side says the player has been absent without official leave since the match against Rangers International of Enugu. According to a statement signed by the chairman of the club, Surajo Baba, the player has not been seen at the club side since the 22nd day of February 2026. The club also warned that any club planning to employ the player with due process will have a suit instituted against it. To end the iPower 102.7 FM Media News, let's take another look at the main point. We told you in the course of the bulletin that the Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has refuted claims in some sessions of the media that the state is battling insurgency, as it described the series of kidnapping events in the state as isolated incidents. we informed you that a federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to return the name of Oluwole Oluyede to the list of candidates that will contest in the forthcoming gubernatorial election in Ekiti State. On the foreign scene, we informed you that the Ghanaian authority has officially written to the United Nations on the attack on its peacekeeping troops in Lebanon. And finally, in the sporting arena, we informed you that Nigeria Premier Football League club side Katsina United has declared one of its players, Uche Collins, missing. And that was the iPower 102.7 FM News at 7, edited by Alaba Adeyemi. My name is Inioluwa Adekoya. Many thanks for listening and have a wonderful night's rest.